When you're talking about psychic readings, there's different levels. So if it's merely just psychic, I'm not connecting with the spirit world, but there's like energy in between all of us that stores our thoughts, our feelings, our actions. Everything is stored there. And you can get quite a bit out of a psychic reading. So what I do is I'm a psychic. All people who do mediumship are also doing psychic work. But in addition to that, I go another level where I communicate with the spirit people and I see them. And then I even take it further into a full trance where I go almost till I'm asleep, as close as I can, and I leave my body, or I open up my awareness to that realm. So quite often when I'm doing this work, I'm not even aware of my own body. I've heard people say, oh, you sound like you're sleeping. Oh, you should be more lively. And it's like, lady, people, I'm a trance medium. This is what I do. This is basically, I work with a spirit team of guides and angels and protection angels. I call in Jesus Christ. I call in all the archangels. And by the time I am open to spirit, I see them all around me. And I would never do what I do unless I had that confidence built up to literally let go of my consciousness and trust that these light beings around me are going to take care of me and take care of the interactions that occur. At the point where I'm at the precipice of the spirit world, I no longer feel my body. I decide that that's okay, and I release my consciousness to the light beings to handle the introduction and the screening of the spirits that come through. I am merely a translator of what they show me. I do not need to ask questions because they can scan our minds in a flash. In a split second, they scan our minds. They know everything we need to know. They also see the police, so they know everything the police need to know. They have it covered. All I do is go into this trance and I call in all my guides and angels, and then I fully let go and I let them do their thing. It's really a passive, and I stay just enough awake to be able to repeat and say what I'm seeing to people. The spirit person transmits information in a lot of different ways. Sometimes it will look like a photograph. Sometimes they'll use what's called a reference library, where they go into my mind or memories and they show me something that's similar. So that's why it might not be the exact thing. Often I can see what looks like a video playing out, so I can see what happened. And then other times it's as if I am standing there witnessing the murder myself. I'm standing right in the middle of the scene and I'm watching the people doing what they're doing. And when it is that strong, I am also picking up on the thoughts of all the people in the room. So if it's a murderer, if it's Lori Vallow, the murderer, I am hearing her thoughts. I'm picking up her thoughts. I'm picking up Alex's thoughts. I'm picking up Tylee's thoughts. I'm picking up Lori's feelings. How does she feel about this? I'm picking that up. I'm picking how Alex feels about this. I'm picking how Tylee feels about this, both in spirit and while she was there. I am being deluged. I am being overwhelmed with the energy of murder. And energy of murder is real. It has its own energy. It is different. You know how anger has an energy? It's an emotion, but there's an energy. We identify that energy as anger. Guilt has an energy. It's a feeling. Okay, well, murder has its own energy also. And I am very adept at dealing with that energy and calling up protection angels that protect me from really absorbing it. But I was so challenged during this case, and it was so intense, and it was just the worst murders I've ever seen. There's just no way of whitewashing that. This is the absolute worst human sacrifice murders that I have ever seen. My experience of full trance mediumship is really an exclusive look into the mind of Lori Vallow. I went to the place and time, leaving my body and standing there. I watched what they all did. The odds that I was correct on such detailed information is less than 1 in a trillion. I went to the place and time. I went to the place and time and left my body and stood there in the middle of this murder scene, watching the people, and I could feel their thoughts. I could feel their feelings, their emotions. Alex, Lori, and Tylee, and JJ, and Charles, all of it, at the time when it was occurring, as well as what the spirit person is feeling with me while we're re-experiencing this for the purpose of finding these bodies.